Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and everywhere beyond. Welcome to another episode of We Talk Combats with myself and my partners here. Joined to talk about sports, I guess combat sports entertainment. Maybe that's a way to put it together. I say combat sports and entertainment. Is that the way to say it? I guess. But combat sports and entertainment.
CSE. Let's go with it. Let's rock with it.
All right, let's rock with it. But happy Mother's Day to everybody that celebrates. That's a mom. And in between, happy Mom's Day to you, babe.
Happy baby Mama's Day too. Y'all matter too.
And happy baby Mama's Day.
Fantasia made a song about that. Shout out to her. But across the board with me, guys, I have my partners here. Queen, what up, babe?
Hey. It's a happy Sunday and a Mother's Day. Glad to be here. We just came back from a PLE.
Yes, ma'am. Travis, what up, bro? How you feel?
What up, bro? How y'all doing?
Same old. What up, BA? What up, Justin? How you feel, bro?
Mm-hmm. I am well. I appreciate the team. And last week I was not here, so my apologies. But I did get this nice bobblehead finger ring from going to the game with my daughter. Shout out to
that.
Is that Gunner?
That is
Gunner Star Wars?
The Star Wars joint. You know, I'm a Star Wars nerd. Yeah.
Nice. That was the game y'all saw them lose at the end, though. It was a good game. A lot of home runs.
Yeah, I'm almost a record.
Yeah. And what up, Devon? Last but not least, again, he's back to join us again, man. 2 times in a row. We got a streak going on. What's up, Dev? How you feel, bro?
All right, how about yourself? I'm doing good.
My man.
Live on a Sunday.
Yes, sir. Who got the birds? Tweet. That's you, Queen?
Yeah, that's me.
That's okay. Yeah, they going serious. They like, you started the show, we won't be on the show. But yeah, you might hit the mute in between. Then now I didn't know they'd be there, but we had a few things that happened this past week.
Over here.
Yeah, I know, including a PLE Backlash. So I think what we should do, make this show just basically a highs and lows of the PLE mainly, but of the Raw and SmackDown beforehand too. If you had anything you really want to touch on and say, I know I have something I want to talk about on SmackDown, but we're gonna open the floor with that. But I guess to start the show, y'all know how we do things. Let's get to highs and the lows. All right, babe, we're going to start with you today. What were your highs and lows from the wrestling week of this past week?
So I guess I'll start with the highest of the highs for me personally. So we got to see Cena and Randy Orton come back and do, I guess their final match that'll probably be together. So it was actually pretty exciting. It was cool seeing Randy Orton in his hometown. Randy Orton was giving everybody the business with the RKOs, and I gotta love that. I don't feel like it ended how I felt like it should end, but I'm guessing it's probably a storyline that's going to be building, that's going to kind of come from that. So I'm excited to see how that's going to end. Jay got demolished by Nia, and that was crazy. I said Nia Jax, and that looked crazy because she crushed her chest in, and you didn't see her move the rest of the match. And it was crazy because she had just talked trash to Charlotte Flair. So it was like, Dad, you were just on your high horse, and then you just fell off your high horse. I would say another high too as well is Io Sky was going against, I want to say, Roxanne, and they had the little battle of the reversals, which was kind of cool. Like that went on for a minute. That was a pretty big high. The lows, anything with Logan Paul basically in it. Anything that has to do with him. The Rusev match was kind of weak. I feel like they're not really promoting him the way that they should be, or kind of giving him much more of a storyline other than just being a big guy. That's unfortunate. The Pat McAfee and Gunther match was so. I guess it was what I expected it to be, but I think Gunther did a good job of speaking Pat through the match, and he made him look good. Like, he really made him look good while making himself look good, and was very safe. So yeah, those are probably the best things I think I saw this week. Street Profits, I wasn't really that interested in that. We had a 4-way too. That was kind of cool. I think that one was looking good for actually Jacob Fatu very, very well. And Drew McIntyre, I feel like always looks good. I feel like he didn't get hit or hit his head, I think, during that match. Yeah, so I think more people probably touch on that. But that was it, really. I didn't get to watch all the press conference, but I think that they said John Cena put R-Truth through a table. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a setup for like kind of I guess the fall of his idol and kind of continue through the year until John Cena's done. But yeah, I'd say those are my the only ones I have really much contribution for.
So overall, if you had to give a grade, I guess for Raw, SmackDown, and Backlash, what would you give them as far as a letter grade?
Okay, give them all
Actually,
independently.
let's go with a number grade. Let's go 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, so 0 being the worst thing you ever seen, and 10 being the best thing.
So I'll go with the PLE because that was the most recent. I would really truthfully give the PLE like probably about a 5. The results didn't really matter. But it was kind of too soon to WrestleMania. So I kind of feel like we didn't really need the Backlash because almost everything that happened on Backlash literally just kind of was set up or already going on the day before at the Smackdown. So I kind of a lot of those matches kind of blurred together for me because they were a lot of the same people. So I just seen them back to back, and I guess doing almost part twos. Some ended in interference and stuff like that, but other than that, most of everything was established on SmackDown on Friday. SmackDown actually, I would give a higher grade. I would give the SmackDown probably a 7, and I would actually give the Raw. I would give the Raw a solid 8. I'll give it an 8.5. I'll give the Raw. I mean, yeah, I'll give the Raw 8.5 because the Raw I feel like was the strongest part of the week, especially for the Becky Lynch and Lyra. There was like some other stuff that was going on in between too, but I felt like that was the most interesting to watch. Like I think we had the Sheamus and Austin Theory match on Raw too this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so that was one of the more interesting things too. Like so, yeah, I would say that Raw was probably the high point for the week for me. The PLE was kind of a disappointment. SmackDown was SmackDown.
All right, Travis, aka Julio LaFlame. What's your opinion on Wrestling Week? What's your opinion on Raw, I guess, SmackDown, and Backlash?
Okay, for Raw, basically I'm gonna start with the promos. I thought the promos just did what they were supposed to do. I didn't expect really anything, no highs or lows like that. It was just basically normal promos. Excuse me. Actually, this was my favorite match. Going in like the whole entire week was the EO and Roxanne match. And just like what Queen said, to kind of touch on that, the whole shout out to Eddie Orengo, but the whole back and forth and the pinfalls, the going back and forth and everything. What's that? The Rusev and Otis match. That was okay. I'm just glad that Otis didn't look so bad. They actually gave him like a little light, had a little moment to go back and forth with Rusev. Also, have y'all noticed when they was getting ready to go to the Jey Uso match? Did y'all see when Finn Balor and Roxanne was talking backstage?
No, I didn't pay attention. They're going.
Y'all didn't see that?
Mm-mm.
I think I'm thinking something might happen with that. So SmackDown. What's that? I thought the tag match was cool. Was that the personal with LA Knight, DP, and Solo, and Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, normal tag
I
team
forgot
match.
about that one.
Now, one of the lows I would say about SmackDown that I didn't like was the Street Profits and was it Fraxium. I just wish at that moment that the Street Profits was more healthier. I mean, it could have been a very good match if they was both healthy.
Okay.
Now, I do want to touch on your boy Mello. I don't understand how he's lost. I don't understand the reason. After they just built him up to win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, I felt like that's like him winning that was completely a waste. What's that? The other tag match with Ray Phoenix, Andrade, and what's that? Del Fantasma. I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty much normal. What's that? Now, I did for the Jade and Nia Jax match. I thought that actually that Jade was gonna lose. I don't think she's ready yet to be a contender, but a number one contender for the championship match. I still think she needs a little bit more time before she gets into the title picture. Where's my notes? But overall,
Take your time, bro.
was that for backlash? The backlash, I pretty thought it was cool. It's not nothing really that just like wowed me or anything like that. What else? Now I'm glad in a fatal four-way match that each guy had their moment. You know, so with LA Knight and with the neck breakers and all that good stuff, and then the other guy had their moment. It was basically the whole back and forth. But overall, I would say that Raw was better this week than SmackDown and Backlash.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Backlash was a little rushed. If I had to give numbers, I would say that I give Raw a 7, SmackDown a 6, and Backlash a 5.
Okay, I rocks with it. All right, Justin, what's your opinion on this past week?
Okay, so Raw to me was about, I'll say about 6, 7. Let's go with 6. But it did have highlights for me. And it was all about Jey Uso. I love the fact that him and Paul Heyman had his promo, and he was just like, what that got to do with me? Like you said, all that, but what that got to do with the champion? And the championship match that they him against Seth Rollins, I think that was spectacular for Jey Uso. Jey Uso performed. This is probably one of his best wrestling matches he have probably ever had, like especially singles. The fact that he was able to go toe to toe with pretty much the entity that is Seth Rollins. The fact that he took one, maybe two curve stomps and kept fighting. That showed his durability, his durality, if I should say,
when it comes to
well. Exactly, when it comes to actually being a championship fighter. That's what we want out of Jey. We wanted Jey, like, yo, are you a Booker T, one pedigree in the middle of the ring kind of a dude to lose the belt, or is it going to take you a couple finishing moves in order to get the job done? And clearly he's on the other end. He's going to take a few finishers to actually get the belt up off of him, which is great. The fact that CM Punk and all them came out, that was Sami Zayn. Cool. We got another spear out of Braun Breaker. Like, okay, these are things I want to see. So they ended to me very well. And the tag match was cool. Clearly was leading up to the 4-way, and I appreciated that. But like I said, definitely a strong 6, 7, because everything else was in between to me was a bit monotone. SmackDown, I hear what everyone else has said before me. I just disagree. Street Profits, to me, once again showed that they belong as champions. Yes, they was injured and they performed. I don't even care about facts. The fact that they was injured and they did take an L, and right after that L, they didn't let that linger. They had the other tag teams come out there, beat them up, and say, yo, y'all won because they was hurt. Like that, they let their own people say that this match don't take too much into this match. That's, to me, that's great storytelling. You don't have to say everything, and you don't have to win every match. They did it for them, and I appreciated that. Yeah. Selena Vega, and they brought back Alexis Bliss. Shout out to Alexis Bliss coming out since the Rumble. She looks in shape. She looks like SmackDown versions of Liv, in a sense, right? They kind of, to me, they gonna marry each other. They performed well against Piper. I like Chelsea. Chelsea's about to be a champion again. She just has, to me, the it factor. People like her. People definitely, she gets pops when she comes out. So she's going to get the belt again. I don't know how long Selena going to have it, but the fact that I saw Alexa Bliss.
Whoa.
Alexa Bliss. And Charlotte talked to each other in one of the promos. To me, was like, okay, Charlotte's she's reaching now for some type of attention her way. She's probably going to take a turn to the dark side, if you want to call it. Shout out to Star Wars Week. She probably start wearing some darker clothes and embrace the inner demon, and Alexa's going to be the one to bring it out of her, that kind of a thing. So I said it here. I guess that could be a little bit for T, but that they did have a conversation on SmackDown. So that I thought that was good. Overall for SmackDown, I think it was a strong 70. It was good. It was good. I didn't have no issues with it. Backlash. Let me backtrack. I'm gonna say a 6 because I didn't like when John Cena was out there and the stunt double came out for Randy, and the announcers just act like that it barely happened. Like if you could remember, let's say if Jim Ross was there, they would have been like, oh my God, who is the real who? They would have sold it a lot more for the people, although we know that it wasn't Randy or whatever, but you still got to sell it. They just act like, he just caught the wrong guy. Like, no, that was, they made that purposely done, and they just kind of buried it. So I think that was definitely a minus for the commentating team. I wanted to add that too. Backlash, the Fatal 4-Way, great match. Pretty much everyone said it. Hopefully Drew don't got a serious concussion, because he definitely took a shot when he fell on his head, and says if he did bounce off his head. Lara versus the man. Nah, that was so. I didn't necessarily. It was cool. Becky puts on a good match. I'll say that. Dawn versus Penta. That was a Raw match. That they put on there. But the crowd was amped. So shout out to St. Louis. They was amped the whole day. So they had to have a low point, and this was their low point. This was the, all right, we kind of seen this coming. Somebody from the Judgment Day versus Penta, and then El Grande comes out. Seen it before. So we see what type of ramifications happens at that. We all know what Finn did. It took too long to hit him, and then they told him to go away and all this other stuff. So we'll see how that works out. To me, I love Pat. Shout out to Raw. Pat McAfee clearly is showing that being a punter is just something that he was good at. His passion, his love is definitely for wrestling. He is out promoing a lot of other guys. Take it back to Raw, when him and Gunther was having that promo, and after he did his part, Gunther stumbled a little bit in his return promo to try to get back at Pat McAfee, and like, I'm gonna crush you, and God's gonna have to take him on. It wasn't a flow for him at that point. He was probably shook by the fact that, Pat doesn't really mess up on the mic, pause. And then the crowd is fully behind Pat McAfee. So the fact that he went out there, he fought. Only person that interfered was Michael Cole. I was okay with that. Pat held his own. He got dominated as he should, but he definitely held his own. So that match to me was definitely entertaining. Shout out to Gunther for carrying. Gunther doesn't have too many bad matches as well. So shout out from Gunther and Pat for putting on the show. And Cena, RKO. I'll say this. Let me say this, and I'm gonna let y'all go. One where I don't think no one cares about Cody, because this match was 10 times better than Cody versus Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Drop that. Let y'all have that one. I mean, it was a throwback to me, to their prime. Yes, I'm gonna give some caveats because these dudes are like old for real, like in wrestling terms, but they definitely gave it everything they had, and they left it in the square circle. And I applaud both of them. I didn't know that John Cena could pull this kind of a match out, and he still can. So shout out to him. It was just a great match, a great ending to me. I have no issues the way it ended. I knew Cena was going to win. I was just figuring out how he was going to win. So it is what it is. Randy's not out the limelight. He's not out the picture. If you notice I'll say that for the team. That's it. Backlash, strong set. 8. I'll give Backlash an 8 for what it was to what it is. 2 weeks after WrestleMania, and to me to be a little bit more entertaining than definitely a lot of spots at WrestleMania. I give it a strong 8.
Nice. All right, Devin. What you think about last week in wrestling? You're muted as well, Devon.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
So I want to start off with Paul Heyman, and from Raw. Paul Heyman put his entire soul into that promo. And Paul Heyman does great on promos in general. But I'm going to tell you, the day that Paul Heyman dies, if he has a pre-recorded obituary that he told, he will make me want to jump in that casket with him. He will talk anybody into anything. Paul Heyman is just amazing work that he does and what he puts into the product, what he adds to it. Jay doesn't really do a lot of talking, so Paul can carry the entire thing. Just like people used to say Shawn Michaels could have a wrestling match with a broomstick and, and it'd still be entertaining. That's how Paul Heyman is with anybody. And I'm just amazed that he's still, after all of this time, he can still flawlessly put in a promo.
He mad at somebody.
Is that your dog?
Yeah.
Yes, Devin.
Sorry.
He
He
mad at
doesn't agree
somebody.
with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then on the Cena and Orton, I loved their match, and like I said last time, Cena is the Goku to Randy Orton's Vegeta, and they fight just like Goku and Vegeta, and the back and forth that we had from them from all those years in the past just kind of, I don't know if it rekindled, it just came back. And it was just really good. I don't think that this is actually the last time we're going to see them together. I think they did the same thing with John Cena and The Rock before, where they say one time only or something like that. And then they had like 3 matches after that.
Yeah.
I think that somewhere along the lines, Orton's going to come back into John Cena's picture, and it's not over between them. What I am upset about is what Cena did to R-Truth. And, R-Truth interfered in the match, but at the end in the post-show, Cena had his moment to take questions. Of course, he just allowed one question to come through. R-Truth came out, talk with him. Cena got mad, ate him through the table, and walked away. My thought is, actually my hope is that R-Truth gets an arc in this story. Not just as a background player, not just as somebody, talking about Cena being his hero, his childhood hero, and all this. I hope R-Truth gets a title shot. I'm sure he's not going to win. I'm sure he's not going to beat Cena's streak or whatever's going on in his plan. But give him that chance. R-Truth is just a gem in the production, but I think that he's been put in a place where he's just there just to be entertainment, and I don't know, he doesn't really get any accolades anymore outside the 24/7 championship. So hopefully they give him some more, I guess, important roles, like in the John Cena storyline. Who knows? Maybe he'll fight. Maybe Cena will fight Orton down the road, and R-Truth will be the one to end up interfering and causing Cena to lose. Maybe. And speaking of the interference with the Gunther and Pat McAfee, I like Pat McAfee's willingness to jump in the ring and still do his commentary and everything like that. But the fact that he's willing to jump in the ring to have a match every so often, I think that's kind of cool. I appreciate the friendship with him and Michael Cole that they're showing on the screen. Even with Michael Cole interfering with the match, a la Bobby Heenan, I just love that they have that going, because the commentators are the ones, and I think I'm sorry, I don't know if it was Justin that said it before, but the commentary team, while we're watching everything playing out, they're telling the whole story. They're the narrators of this product, and but they don't really get as much attention, especially the new guys nowadays, because of guys like Jim Ross. He's been pretty much the staple in WWE, but the fact that they're getting their opportunities to kind of come out a little bit more, have a little bit more breathing room with what they're saying, but even having a storyline, you know, I just think that that's just kind of cool. I appreciate that. My man Dom, Dirty Dom, kept his title, and I hope that he gets even more shine out of whatever is going on right now. I hope that he continues his path of success, just like Jacob Fatu. The fact that he is winning is just wonderful to me. The fact that he is head to head with Solo in their story, we know it's coming, but I just love the fact that yeah, but I love the dominance that Jacob has. I can see by watching him in the post show, he's still got some work to do as far as the talking and everything like that with his interviews and everything. But I know he's kind of used to being amped up. He's used to being on 100, and he's got to be at 25 during those interviews or during the press conference. Mm-hmm. So I know he's got a little bit of work to do, though he is already doing better than Jey Uso. The Alexa Bliss return. It's great to see Alexa. I hope that, I mean, I don't know if this means anything for the Wyatts. I don't know if that storyline or if that faction has just been completely canned, or if they are just holding out for something in particular to happen before they bring him back. But anytime I see Alexa, that kind of always stays in the back of my head, wondering about the Wyatts, if there's going to be a continuation on their story. Otherwise, what they did with them was just a waste. But throughout all that, I like the delivery of the promos on Raw. I like the way that turned out. I love the Cena and Randy Orton match. I think that did a great addition to their already extensive history, and I'm just glad that there is still enough gas in the tank for them to put on the type of match that they did. I do hope that I see it again, as far as them having their a return title match. Maybe it might be the one that Randy ends up winning. But yeah, that's pretty much my take on this past week. Well, my highlights.
So what's your number grades for each show?
So Backlash, I'm gonna say, I'll say about a 6. I think it was a good show. I think that the Orton and Cena match was good. I love the fact that I love Jacob Fatu in his performance. The pay-per-view itself, actually, I think I'm gonna give it a 4, and I think that it's actually kind of this pay-per-view probably shouldn't. This PLE probably shouldn't have even happened. At least not when it did. Today is the 40-year anniversary of Saturday Night's Main Event. Why was that not the event that happened this weekend to celebrate that 40-year anniversary? So they do lose points for me, actually, now to think about it, with the fact that they had Backlash this weekend instead of Saturday Night's Main Event. I just feel like it would have meant more, especially with advertisement. And the fact that all the champions retain their titles, anytime something like that happens to me, it just feels like they don't really have a plan for the show, but they needed to sell some tickets somewhere. They needed some extra money or some pocket change. So that's why this PLE happened, especially being so close to, the surrounding events with Saturday's Main Event coming up. I know we got King and Queen of the Ring coming up, and it just looked like this really didn't have much going for it other than the Cena and Orton match and the Fatal 4-Way. So I'm still giving it a 4, though, because of the fact that they didn't have Saturday Night's Main Event this weekend in place of this. Raw, I think Raw is going to be the 6. I like the fact that, again, the Paul Heyman segment, I wish that we had more, excuse me, of, this is going to sound weird, but Dom, I want to see Dom shine. I want to see he's turning more into an anti-hero to me, not necessarily a face, not necessarily, he always kind of in between. At this point, I think the crowd has a lot to do with that, but I do kind of wish I saw more of him in the show, just because I feel like him and Jacob are just on the rise in their popularity. SmackDown was SmackDown. And I think I'll probably tie that with the 6 as well.
Okay. I'm gonna try to just basically touch on some things I think you guys may have didn't. I'll give my numbers first. Raw, I'm gonna give Raw a 4. No, I'm lying. No, I'm going too low. Thinking differently. I'm gonna give Raw a 5. I'm gonna give SmackDown a 5 as well, because SmackDown should not be 3 hours. I don't care what it is. There's a score always, a number taken away just because it's 3 hours. And back, yeah, it's like a sin counter, like ting. Shout out to them. But I'm gonna go with Backlash. Backlash is weird to me. If Backlash was just a like if you did not include story or anything to deal with the WWE, like this other stuff you got to worry about, the promos, the connection, the storyline, anything. I thought Backlash was a solid like 8. I thought Backlash was a good pay-per-view. Like I don't think there was a trash match on that card at all. I don't think any of the matches were trash on that card. I think all of them from the beginning, from the Fatal 4-Way, the ladies match was a good match. What else do we have? The Intercontinental with Dom and Penta was a good match. The Gunther and Pat McAfee, for what it was a good match. And Randy Orton and John Cena was a good match. I feel like Randy Orton and John Cena carried the show. This is what I always say when people talk about, like, and this is no knock like Daniel Bryan and stuff like that, like guys that are great in the indies, but it takes more than that to have a classic in the WWE or a great match in the WWE. It's about the aura, like young folks say. It's about just controlling the crowd as far as more than just actually wrestling. And during that match, Randy Orton and John Cena, you could tell their chemistry, that they actually believed in each other. They trust each other with their lives when they were doing the moves. Like, Randy tried to put the guy through the table, and as soon as it happened, I yelled out. You can see him talking to Cena. They're about to yell out or run an audible real quick. As soon as that happened, Randy Orton ran to the side, got another table, and did the same spot, set it up so that he could do the AA into the table where he tried to do on the reinforced table, and it didn't break. So it was just like the connection between them two was amazing. I had no problem with the ending as well. Like I said, as long as R-Truth is involved, and from the end of it, it looks like R-Truth will be involved. I'm hearing that he may be John Cena's opponent for Saturday Night Main Event. That may be him getting his little moment as far as that, which will be pretty cool. I would love for him to actually get a belt, or get the belt, like maybe even for a day. That would be cool. Like that's I don't even need more than that, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I was fine with that. Randy didn't look too cold. Randy was dominating for real. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen Randy dominate John Cena. It was the opposite. Shout out to you, Justin, as far as on get off the damn fence and all, talking about the difference this time as far as Randy being the bigger person, Randy finally being the face and all that stuff. Like, the dynamic was different enough in a way where it seemed like a fresh fight. Like, it was fresh. That's you correct. Feel me? Like, it was fresh being the different way, though they've wrestled enough times. And the ending with John Cena, people were mad at the little title belt and all that. I was fine because that actually kind of like what I say, it protected it protected the finish from WrestleMania. When people were mad at WrestleMania and the way he beat Cody Rhodes, John Cena did the same thing to beat Randy Orton.
Yeah, tracks.
So it made it
more than once. It's established like, as canon now.
Yes, like now that's the way John Cena beats people and all.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I was perfectly fine with that. R-Truth even doing that made sense. Like I said, as long as they continue with him in there. The Fatal 4-Way was the Fatal 4-Way match. Like I say, all this stuff didn't connect anything. Backlash wasn't needed. It was a throwaway pay-per-view. Like, none of these stories were needed, tell you the truth. Nothing really continued. Nothing. The Jacob 5-2 thing could have been done, but you just wanted to try to push him even higher. So you put guys that are like heavyweight guys against him in the Fatal 4-Way match, and that probably isn't going to do anything but splinter off into Damian and what's the name one more time? Drew McIntyre. You had the women's one, which is going on for a second. I thought, like Devon said, they didn't change any titles, which usually means they threw something together. I thought that was the one. Go ahead, Justin.
And you just brought that to my attention. Shout out to Lara for getting hit in the nose. Like, she got legitly hit and she finished the match.
Yep.
Those things, that's how you earn strikes. Because Lara, they're trying to put Lara over on us. And it was like, to me, I was like, but to see her perform well, and when you pretty much hopefully she ain't got a broken nose, but she definitely took a shot. She earned some stripes for me.
She's
Go
earned
ahead.
her stripes today. No, you're fine. She did. She earned her stripes. They had a good match. I thought Becky was going to win just to change that. Like I think Lyra was going to win the war, but I thought Becky was going to win that battle right there to get it started. But she's beaten Becky a few times now, so I guess maybe they continue with that and Becky gets it. I don't know what happens. The Dom thing, I actually feel a little different than you with the Dom thing, Justin. I thought that was an excellent match. I thought that for Dom to get like Shine and all, and Penta, we always talk about Penta as far as he's always out there getting his butt whipped. To watch Dom whip Penta's butt was like awesome to me. Like I was sitting there watching, like, okay, Dom is like giving you offense and taking control of this match, and it wasn't like, hey, Dom got to get beat up and find a way to win. I thought with Penta's style, I was actually wanting to give a shout out to Penta. He made Dom look very well. Not saying that Dom didn't do it himself, but their styles actually connected. I thought it was a good match the way it ended, and Dom ended up getting the victory in a way. I know El Grande Americana, people are mad at that. I think this is an awesome storyline. I think it's bringing tremendous heat as long as there's a payoff, which I think it will be with the Lucha Bros. As long as there's a payoff, this is fine. This is bringing the heat that it deserves, and putting Chad Gable where he needs to be. The Lucha Brothers are going to go where they need to go. I think it's perfectly fine. So I'm okay with that. I thought Dom looked great. What did I forget? I forgot. Gunther, Pat McAfee, didn't really need it much. It happened. I don't know why that had to be the pay-per-view. I had a question for y'all before. Was that Jey Uso and Paul Logan match originally supposed to happen at Backlash? Or am I tripping?
I thought it was too.
Didn't Logan Paul walk out and say, not tonight, but we'll have it at Backlash?
With Backlash, yeah.
And isn't that what Logan Paul said?
Yes, and then it suddenly changed to the Paul Heyman,
to Saturday Night
Seth Rollins
main event,
thing.
yeah.
And then, no, you're right. They had to change it up.
Why would Triple H, I guess, I don't want to make it to a T thing, but why would you do that? That's burying your champion. Why would you schedule him for a show and then not have your world champion at the show and say he's going to now be a Saturday Night Main Event? This match is going to happen. But then people ask why, like they don't like Jey Uso and all, because you're burying your champ. Why would you do that? He was scheduled to be on the card and you took him away.
You haven't seen Logan at all. It might be a Logan thing.
It might be, but then Logan shouldn't be fighting for the belt. Then Logan shouldn't be fighting for the belt. You feel like that's still your champion. So you protect your champion. That's how I feel like as far as the triple, it's money. It is. And that's why this Backlash was a straight money grab. That was why Logan Paul will be there with Jey Uso for no reason. Now it's going to be Saturday Night Main Event. They're having too many PLEs now. They get into that problem and not having enough product. So it's working that way. Going back to the other shows, Raw and all promos were great on Raw. Jey Uso is even getting into shape. He got a sign of abs now and all that stuff. Shout out to Jey Uso for going and taking it serious and all that. He had a good match with what's his name, Seth Rollins. It was good to see that because people wanted to see if he could actually play with the big boys, like you said. He did. He showed out. I'm tired of that stable already, though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where they're going right now. Hurry up and get Seth the championship or do something with Braun Breaker and all, because I don't know what you're about to do. Get somebody else to do something, because I told y'all before, I'm kind of done with it already. What am I missing on there? CM Punk, good to see him back. I guess they're going to still be beefing with each other until they move him forward. Like, it really didn't. This was really filler. They should have just kept going with the story, but they had to have a stopgap in the story, I feel like, and give you Backlash when they really should have kept going with the story. So we don't know what's really going on. Smackdown, Travis said he didn't like the Street Profits and all that. I thought that was a good thing. I thought they set it up perfectly. Street Profits being injured, Fraxium come up, you put Fraxium down with the big boys automatically, and you give them a reason so that they beat them. It's like they really stole a victory. It's not like they really beat them because they were injured. It sucks that it had to be Montez Ford and all that stuff they had to go through with the injury and all that, but they took the victory. When they wrestle again for the championship, I don't think Fraxium beats them. Now Fraxium can take that L, and it looks okay for them as well because they already got the dub. As you see, Fraxium probably a wrestler. I like Fraxium. I actually think Fraxium's good. They're a little undersized for my liking. Pause. I'm not Vince McMahon per se, but like they're still smaller dudes. So when you're a smaller guy, it just looks a little less believable to me for you to have a long time championship reign or whatever like that. But other than that, Jade, I still think it's the long term with Jade right now. I think Jade probably may take the. I really think Naomi. I don't know why I'm thinking this. I think Naomi's going to take the title off of Tiffany, and I think Jade's going to take the title off of Naomi. And I think that Jade is then going to set up to battle like, what's her name? Bianca in the future. I think now that Charlotte and Jade stare down, which to now do what they did with Tiffany with Charlotte, to now do with Jade, where I'm hoping Charlotte actually takes that L again, which is Charlotte Flair. To her to take two major L's back to back and not win from it is going to be crazy. But for what she did to Tiffany, now she needs to do it to Jade as well, pause. And if she does it to Jade, then Jade becomes on that level where she can start competing. I think Jade is taking the steps right now. That's why you're seeing the little peaks and little talks, conversations and all, but it's not to really rush her into it. It's a stepping process to her to get to Bianca, I think it is. But other than that, like I said, overall, not the greatest week of wrestling for me. It didn't really need to happen. Like I said, stopgap, money grab. A lot of these PLEs are becoming money grabs. I don't know. I guess we'll see the next step. Does any of these really continue a storyline? Do y'all think anything really goes from any of these stories before I move on to the T? Like, other than maybe Lyra and all that stuff, does anybody?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anybody that's actually wrestling, I mean.
So I think with Jade, I do think they're trying to set her up for a really
No.
major push. But
not for that, Queen. Before you, Jade, I meant the Backlash. I'm sorry.
Specifically a Backlash. No, I feel
any
like none of those
matches
results really mattered. Like I said before, I felt like a lot of it was almost like a repeat of Friday. Like, because a lot of those people I feel like already fought in some capacity on Friday. Like some of them had like 4 ways with different people and stuff like that. But almost everybody ended in interference on Saturday.
They ended in interference on every match. Damn near.
Yeah,
the whole week.
Wasn't it? Yeah, that's why I feel like it was almost every match had somebody else come out, or the referees were knocked out, or or somebody was out the ring too long or something.
That's Triple H's scapegoat. That's Triple H's scapegoat when he has no way to finish a match and he's like, I don't know how to get out of this without burying one person.
He's on his headset watching, and then he's like, "All right, I need you to run out real quick. Hey, I need you, $10. Go hide in the stands because I need you to go try and hand them a daggone chair." And then Finn run out there, and then that whole thing got messed up. Anyways, yeah, I just like it was kind of goofy.
So you said,
go ahead.
Go ahead. So you said the continuation. Does any of these matches have a continuation? That's the question, correct?
Meaning from the actual people that wrestle.
Yeah.
So not like
that wrestle.
So like Jacob Fatu, he probably gonna continue with the people that interfered.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like Lyra and Becky probably continue. I got that one. But then you go to Dom. Is Dom and Penta going to continue? Isn't Penta about to go mess with El Grande Americana? Then
I feel like they set the whole Backlash up for John Cena and Randy Orton. It was really for them because Randy Orton, they were in St. Louis. They just wanted to do a show in St. Louis with Randy Orton. That was the whole reason they did the whole show.
I don't think John Cena and Orton going to continue right now.
Needed to wrestle.
That's what John Cena and Orton not going to continue right now.
On the card.
And then Gunther and Pat McAfee not going to continue. That's done.
It was all about the interaction, the interferences. It's person versus the interference. It's Jacob eventually going against Solo and Jeff Cobb. Shout out to the individual matches in between. LA Knight is still like, I don't know who, like, hey, I'm still looking for somebody. But Damian and Drew gonna have another match. So Lara, yes, eventually Bailey gonna have to show back up, but she didn't. So that's gonna continue some kind of way. Dom. Yep. Well, yeah, we know AJ Styles is next, but this Finn thing, it was another storyline for the Finn deterioration from the group to me. And
he didn't even fit in. The rest of them are of some sort of Spanish descent or something. He just there.
Yeah, but before what you said, just is that PLE worthy? You feel what I'm saying? Like that.
The people need to pay to watch that.
It's SmackDown and Raw. Like there's no story. It's not even like ending a story. There was everything was for the interference.
Yes.
Well,
and everything basically was set up Friday.
I mean, if you remember In Your House and then everything else came from In Your House, those In Your Houses wasn't definitive like that. They kind of kept the story or just kept the waters running until the major events that was coming. So
it wasn't randoms though. You would have like Mankind versus Undertaker at an In Your House. You would have like
Cena versus Orton at this year's In Your House. That's a ticket.
But Cena versus Orton, okay. Mankind versus Taker was part of the Mankind and Taker battle, the Border Room Brawl, and that was still part of their story. This a normal Cena and Orton in Your House would be a part of their story. Like it's out of 2 out of 3 matches and all that stuff. These were like 1 matches for no reason that didn't have to happen.
So you think Orton just washes his hand and talks about something else on Friday?
He can no. I think he talks about something, but he's not going to fight Cena next. Cena about to keep moving. If Orton got to get back involved, he got to find a way to get back involved now. Like based off that, he's not
John
seen his
Cena's
next.
for
I don't think
fighting
he's going to next
everybody. He
review
just wants
fight
to
John
fight everybody
Cena
before he
again.
go.
He's not gonna be his next opponent.
Yeah, that's
No,
what I
he
think.
gotta
I think
fight
Saint
everybody
Orton has
before
to
he
find a
go.
way now to
That
get
was his
back into
turn.
John Cena. That was just
Yeah, that was
Orton.
his turn.
That was just in St. Louis. Orton's from St. Louis. He RKO'd you out of nowhere and all
Yeah,
that.
that's why I said they just
After
did PLE just
Right.
for
all
really
these-
Randy.
all of these people that were in this that had the championship yesterday won the championship at WrestleMania, except for Lyra. So why would you think it was no story being told? John Cena just won against Cody Rhodes. There was nothing being told. What's Dom just won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. There was nothing to be told. Jacob Fatu just won the U.S. Championship at WrestleMania. There was nothing to be told. They did nothing. It was just WrestleMania here. Let's continue with something of WrestleMania. We didn't build anything. They didn't have enough time to build anything. They just had like 2 weeks
Didn't have no time.
and had Randy RKO and all that stuff to say, let them wrestle each other because it's in St. Louis.
Let's say that from this angle. Yes, it was some of these matches could have been on Raw, some of these matches could have been on SmackDown. It's one night where you get both. That's what some of these PLEs, the Saturday night main events, it's one night where you as a viewer get the best of, not necessarily the best, but a version of both shows in one. That's what this was. It was 2 shows combined into one. Not necessarily a big time PLE, but it is a way for them to get money. We know that. But yes, it's a combination. It's Raw down. That's what we just saw.
Basically, yes. I felt like this could have been Saturday night main event. That what we saw yesterday could have been a Saturday night main event, and I'd have been fine. Everybody kept their title and all that stuff. Yeah. That could have been Saturday night main event. But I know we moving for time and all. It's already 47 minutes. That was Travis. You know what that was sponsored by? Let's see.
Fanatics.
Yes, sir.
This I Was Told segment is brought to you by the folks over at Fanatics. Fanatics is the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love the most, including WWE. You can earn fan cash to redeem when your orders, jersey protection for when your favorite player is traded or changes teams. They also have an unrivaled selection of authentic fan gear and Fanatics exclusives that are only available on the site. So if you need some merch and are interested in helping the channel, scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link, which is always in the description.
Shout out to Fanatics. You can get all your sports entertainment, anything in between, apparel from there. Check out the link in the description, or also scan that QR code if you're watching on TV with your phone or so. All right, y'all. We got a little bit of time left. Let's get to the wrestling tea. All right, y'all. The wrestling tea is where we talk about the news and rumors that we heard going on about sports and sports entertainment. I guess I'll start off first with Alberto Del Rio and Eva Marie. Allegedly, Eva Marie is going to get her 3rd chance to be a WWE superstar by the rumors. And also, Alberto Del Rio his contract has been picked up from AAA when WWE purchased AAA. Not to mention that WWE has released about 20 people. Take that how you want. But, excuse me, I'm going to go back around the room the opposite way and get your feelings on this real quickly. Devon, what you think about this news?
Alberto, aside from him personally, interested to see if they decide to bring him on the WWE side of the deal, or if they're just going to keep him separated into AAA. I do think that there is a larger there's a larger roster that may fit his style. That's in WWE now compared to when he was here previously.
What would be his style? Explain that one, if you don't mind.
Just his. So I'll tell you, the way I feel about Alberto is a similar way I feel about Dominic Mysterio in their style. They fit more of a lucha libre type environment, and not just because they're Latino, but actually it may be because they're Latino, but because their style that they have, they wrestle with that traditional
It doesn't hurt.
lucha libre style, I don't feel that Dominic's domination will come from him fighting against heavyweights. I think that him remaining with those people that are in that cruiserweight type roster is going to succeed. And I feel like Alberto is the same way. Now, granted, I know Alberto was in the main event picture in the past, but I don't know. I just feel like him being with people who can move nowadays. Well, actually, might be past his prime. Yeah, I guess I'm thinking about this now. I'm thinking about it'd be like Kurt Angle coming back and fighting in the picture, and Kurt Angle's not where he was in 06 or 07. So I am still interested to see how that plays out. As we've already seen, nothing's ever really the end with WWE. With the way bridges may have been burned, there's still time. As long as you're still breathing, there's still a chance that you might come back. So I'm interested to see how all that plays out. But Eva Marie, I don't want to see her there at all. Like there's so many more talented people that deserve screen time or deserve a paycheck, even if it's house shows or whatever. And Eva Marie is just the Megan Fox of WWE right now. And they're just bringing her in because I guess the teenage and middle-aged men, they're going to stare at her for a little bit. And I guess that's going to bring them money in their opinion or attention. I don't know. But I just don't really feel like she adds value to the product. And it's just my own personal opinion. So, yeah, I'm kind of against that.
I'm with you. Hey, Justin, anything different you want to say or add?
Well, I was just doing some research, basically looking at IG. She seems like she's in shape. Hopefully she actually put some work in. I ain't got too much to say when it comes to her. If she go back to the redhead, every roster needs at least one or two redheads. You know what I'm saying? Either natural or not. You need to have it as a balance.
What about Becky? Ain't Becky?
That's why I said one or two, right? One or two, right? And
right.
Becky's like synonymous with Seth, right? You need that one, right? So shout out to
eye
to
candy
Ava
is what you trying to say.
be that one redhead, that fiery type of a thing, if you like that.
She a pink head right now.
Right now, but when she go through that apron, it might be red. That's I'll pull that one out of here. I ain't gonna lie to you. Next is Alberto Del Rio, and shout out to Alberto. I like him when he was wrestling on WWE before, and I probably won't like him again. I liked his ring announcer pause more than anybody else. The way Alberto, I'm not even gonna butcher
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Ricardo. So hopefully he comes back. I would like that. But we talked about that, and yes, some wrestlers got the axe, and you want others to get promoted. So we're not going to knock that, especially a lot of African Americans that's trying to make weight here, especially the Carmelo Hayes of the world. So I don't like these guys coming back and getting wins over them. But some recognizable faces to join the roster makes that second tier championship level a little bit more interesting to look at. So if you can get them at the US or the IC, all right, it just evens that playing field a little bit more. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Travis, anything you got different to say or you want to add? If not, you can just pass. Go ahead.
I'm just, as far as Alberto Del Rio, I'm just basically interested to see what's going to happen with him. I mean, I was a little fan of his when he was with the company at first, just like what Justin was saying. Ricardo Rodriguez basically made the whole thing interesting for me as far as him.
How you say his last name?
Rodriguez.
You said that very nicely. I was butchering it, bro. Keep going. That was all love. Keep going.
But I appreciate it. But as far as Eva Marie, I really don't care for say Eva Marie. If it's gonna be like the last time with her just not talking or you know, the whole wardrobe malfunction thing that she was doing when she was originally with the company at first. But anything other than that, I'm not interested in seeing it.
Understood. Queen.
Something like that.
So, I mean, everything everybody said, I guess, for the most part, but my issue is that I don't mind when any talent comes back as long as they've learned more about, one, talking on the mic, and two, becoming a better wrestler. That's always my thought, is that everybody has room to grow and learn, and that a lot of people, like, I'll use Roman as an example. Roman used to be terrible on mic. The pandemic helped him out a lot, and now he is excellent at mic. There's other people, even Seth Rollins was kind of rough on mic when he first really kind of started coming on the scene. There's just so many people that were able to grow and become great icons from the beginning. Like, I mean, after having a rough beginning. So even with Eva Marie, I never really cared much for her, but her issue is that she did become a face, like, and not a face, but like, as in people found her attractive, so people would, they would look at her Instagram, just like, what Justin was saying. But yeah, my issue is that
Research
she wasn't a very
purposes.
good wrestler, and
Educational purposes.
she wasn't a good wrestler, and she wasn't a very safe wrestler from what I remember. Like, I do feel like there was a few situations where people were hurt or potentially almost hurt because of her lack of skills and her lack of just experience just in the industry as well. Is she kind of came in there like one of the Maxim models. Shout out to Maxim if it still exists. I don't even know if it still exists no more, but that was kind of what she came from. She was during that era of eye candy. And like Devon said, it's okay to have somebody that's eye candy on the roster. Like, I don't have issue with that. Wrestling is kind of a bunch of things. We have men that their job is to be comedic. They're not super great wrestlers, they're not super great talkers, but they can make you laugh, so we keep them around. Like what's his name? They used to do the sock, like him. Like
Santino Marella.
he got like 5, 6, 20, probably 30 videos of YouTube of people just making video compilations of him just being funny. Not even wrestling. So, like, if you can find a niche for yourself, even if that may not be becoming a great wrestler, or even if you're a great wrestler, finding out that you are good at being comedic is okay. But I feel like she's had too many opportunities, especially with WWE, to create a good character that's more than just her face. Like, even the last time she came back during the pandemic, she still wasn't that good of a talker, and she still wasn't that good of a wrestler. So I'm gonna feel like it's been about 5 years since then. I'm gonna assume that this time when she come back, she ain't gonna be a good talker, and she's still not gonna be a good wrestler. So quite frankly, they could leave her where she at. If she on Instagram, leave her on Instagram. And like I wish her all the best and all that stuff. But we got too many women that are on the rosters right now that are developing as wrestlers and that do have decent mic skills and that we're watching grow in front of our eyes, that we don't got to double back for her. Okay, we can just go get somebody new. We don't need to keep doubling back. If she ain't get it the first time and she ain't get it the second time, send her to AEW or something. Like, but she don't need to be with us. And that's my thoughts on Ava Marie. And the other dude don't even matter. Like, he's more overshadowed by the people around him. Like, I wish him all the best. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish him all the best.
Eva Marie, I don't think the third time is going to be a charm. Just my personal opinion. Like I said, hope for the best. Alberto Del Rio, I don't think he should have been hired as well. Being with his history and all the stuff he's been through, I think it's just ugly. Not that they've been hired. I'm not saying give people a second chance, even a third chance, whatever you want to do with but for it to happen, or these rumors to be occurring right after they had the layoffs is what's ugly. Like, it's other guys that were breaking their
let Go
backs.
Town. We watched develop.
Yeah,
to
like
try and bring back
you let go
people
Braun Strowman for Eva Marie.
Yeah,
you let go.
And those
You
people
feel me?
still have
Like
followings. Like, even if we don't like them, they do have a decent amount of people that do still come and watch them or care
you let
about
go
them or follow
Dakota
them.
Kai for Eva Marie or Braun Strowman for Alberto Del Rio. I'm not a big Alberto Del Rio guy.
Better comparison.
Yeah, I'm not a big Alberto Del Rio guy. Even when he was champion and all back, and he used to be a luchador and all, I know, but I just thought he was kind of boring. They kind of pushed him because they wanted another Rey Mysterio at that point as well, like another Hispanic guy to bring in money, but he didn't bring in as much.
So with the upswing of luchador talent right now, is this not the opportune time for him to show up? Just asking.
I mean, no, because why do you need him?
Just to provide more heat to the movement.
You know about his stories about what he done all together, Alberto, like his run-ins with the law and all that just happened. Like, you know how deep and bad.
No, I do not know.
Yeah, he has
he got a deep. Mm-hmm.
He's some pretty messed up stuff. So that's why I'm like Alberto. I wouldn't have touched him. He had some issues with Paige, you know, and then
we ain't
stuff
got
that happened afterwards.
Go letters. Okay. Oh
yeah,
wow.
so it's
he
on some
a dirty dude.
He a dirty dude. Yes, basically.
Oh,
he's a dirty dude. Yeah. That's why we talked about it. Like, it's not because if it was just a regular, if he been a regular champion though before, you feel me? Like if it was just regular, yeah, bring him back. But he had some things baggage.
So you're saying he had some a book bag of baggage.
Yeah,
and y'all bringing him back, and y'all letting go of talent that did not have.
Like Hulk Hogan got baggage for saying stuff. Alberto Del Rio got baggage for actually doing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't he involved with Paige?
Yeah, all that stuff. So I don't want to get into all that. It's deep, but you got to go look it up if you don't know.
You got to Google it. Go Google it. But just look up Paige and Alberto, and then Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought that was. Yeah.
That just you got to put Paige and Alberto because if you leave it at Paige,
you might go somewhere else.
Yeah, you might go somewhere
else.
That's just Google.
Right. Hold on. Don't Google Paige at all. Just Google Alberto Del Rio. How about we just make it like
cool. That works too,
folks. You'll find out everything about Alberto.
Page, you gonna go
no, we don't want to know about that. We don't know about Xavier Woods. We good. We don't get it. We don't get rated R like Xavier Woods. We fine. We okay. But last part of this tea, I know it was two things we wanted to discuss real quick. One was Samantha Irvin. I'll let you touch on this by yourself, Queen, real quick before we end the show. Samantha Irvin is claiming that she's getting shadow banned and all from the WWE for her music and other projects that she had to say. I know you want to say something about that, Queen. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
So I thought it was crazy when she said that. So I wanted to do my own research on it. I was looking at the original post and I'm like, well, a lot of her posts don't really have a lot of traction as it is. I don't think it has to do as much with being shadow banned. I think it's just the fact that nobody really wanted to hear her do music. That's not to be a jerk. Because on Instagram, she got a decent following and decent interaction on all her stuff over there. People would just, but if you go to the Facebook thing where it's playing the video, the video ain't that good. Her voice don't sound that good, but there's maybe 6 to 10 comments and maybe 1,000 views on the video.
I mean, we got and if you go
to that's what I'm saying. But she's Samantha Irvin. She's supposed to. I don't think she'd be in shadow banned. I just think people wanted to see her as a commentator. They don't want to see her performing. And the thing, as I said, is that exactly. As a ring announcer, at the end of the day, it's always hard to say when people are saying that they're not being pushed or not being exposed. And when it comes to social media, once you're somebody that's Googleable, even if you are controversial, WWE can't bury your page like that. You know what I mean? I think that's the issues that I think she has a misunderstanding of just because people liked you on there doesn't mean that people wanted to go hear your music or see you in concert. You know, and it kind of sucks though. You'd want that support, right? But at the end of the day, regular people still trying to get support from people on their music. You know what I mean? There's other people that are trying to go from the ground up too. But to make it it's a conspiracy, I don't think that WWE is trying to bury her or anything. I think it's just about that she's just not making traction. The song not very good. I don't even think the producer on it was somebody anybody knew. And I think she just kind of needs a reality check on understanding that it's hard out there, but it's really hard out there to kind of become a musician when we're in the age of TikTok and YouTube reels and all that stuff that it's hard to get traction as a musician that way, even if you are Samantha Irvin.
It's hard out there for a pimp, Shane.
Yeah, that's all I said. She had it was nice and mastered. The song was mastered. Somebody, she paid a good penny to have somebody give her some licensing to that music, or somebody made it for her. But I don't know. Check out the video, y'all get your opinions and leave a comment. Let us know what y'all thoughts were on the video. Okay.
I think
that's all I gotta say about it.
I'm sorry. I think in my opinion, I don't necessarily agree with the way she went about it. I feel like she could have taken advantage of her role in WWE to help boost her career had she stayed, because then she could have their dollar put towards the advertisement of her product. They let people, how many WWE talent go out and become big movie stars, or they go succeed in some other, venue.
Well, John Cena with a platinum album.
Right. She could have, even if she didn't want to necessarily stay.
And WWE makes music. I'm glad you said something about that, King. Yeah, and they have their own, not only just their own bands and stuff. Even back in the day, they had Jim Johnson. Yeah, he used to be cooking up
Yep.
a lot of stuff. So it wasn't even if they would have sent her to Jim Johnson. They know people to talk to other people for you. They got Lemmy to do the Motorhead song for Triple H. You know, that wasn't just like you can make anything happen, is what I'm saying. Like, so yeah, like they already had good connections in music. Like you said, John Cena, you know, got a platinum. I don't even want to say spoof album because it's not a spoof per se, but you know what I'm saying. Like it is an album. Like it's just we think it's a spoof because it's like you're not really like that. That wasn't your real life. Like you're not rapping on nothing that happened in your real life at all. But okay, he's playing a character there too.
Go ahead, Devin.
But yeah, go ahead, Devin. Sorry.
No, actually, no. That was pretty much it. I just think that, just my own personal opinion, she already had the she had the place that she needed to be to help her move forward in her career. I just don't necessarily agree with the way that she went about it. I think that you got people like Lillian Garcia and you got people like Mickey James, where they have their own respective success with their music careers. They're not necessarily recognized as like Jennifer Lopez or anybody, but they have a reasonable amount of success that they can credit WWE for helping, get them where they are now. If she doesn't want WWE involved with it at all, then okay, well, it is what it is. The only problem with that is the image that she's making for herself because of the way things played out is going to work against her, in my opinion. Especially with the way that the fact that everybody knows that she's with Ricochet, and whatever heat Ricochet is bringing to whatever is going on. I just think all that together is going to probably bring a negative opinion towards her with the internet community. That's just my thought. And real quick, I want to backtrack real quick, Justin. Bringing redheads in any picture is automatic win for me. That's automatic 10. I just don't like Eva Marie. But
Understood.
Any other time, redheads, no. Just want to throw that out there.
Go ahead, Justin, before I move on
I
to
saw
Travis's
somebody in the
topic.
chat too as well.
Understood.
There's some comments.
I
I'm going to get to the chat then before we leave.
I honestly think that she got misguided because you mentioned she has the views, but the comments aren't there. It's she was misguided at the fact that she saw that every IG post that she might put up or something like that has a lot of views, and she thinking that she was pretty much hotter than what she was. And then she come up with this music video like, oh, well, all these views are going to go right over to my music video.
I don't mean to like your music.
But that should tell you something that I'm going to leave blank. So, yeah, man, I think that's just what it is. So she want to look. Cardi B about to do SummerSlam. Like, had you did what everybody else did, you might have would have been on stage for like 2 minutes or whatever the case may be. What would that have done?
She could have did a song with
the Sexy Reds, all of them to be around WWE now.
With her.
Meg Thee Stallion did the SmackDown theme.
Like, she fumbled the bag.
She fumbled. She did a Dennis Struder right now. She did. That's what she did.
She ran away with Ricochet. That's how we all feel. She ran away with Ricochet. She shouldn't have did that.
She could have just waited a second and she could have got everything she wanted. But she's like, oh, I need it right now. Ricochet, you ready to go, babe? And she's like, are you ready, B? And he's like,
real talk. I think that she was on her way to become bigger than Ricochet. But Ricochet, she left. That's the real
back. He's like, yeah, come on. You can't
I'll give you Queen. He snatched her because, yes, from what you said, King, he saw clearly there's a spotlight on her. She's taking off.
Come back here.
Let me slide you up out of there.
Yep.
Because I'm about to lose that. He about to lose that.
Sorry, chat.
Ain't nobody scared of Ricochet.
That's what I said. I said if she'd have stayed around long enough, just seeing previous stuff that happened before in wrestling, if he wasn't around her and stuff going on in the locker rooms and all, some dude would have said, Edge and Lita and all them and Melina and Batista and John Morrison and all that. You ain't here, bro. And she all got the spotlight and all. This gonna be a power couple right here. You feel me? But last point, that was a good point. Last one, Travis, as far as the T, I'm gonna let you touch on this pause. Travis Scott is rumored to be training with the great Booker T, King Booker. So, Travis, that's your guy. Travis Scott and all. How do you feel about that before we end the show? The floor is yours, bro. Look at this. I'm gonna let everybody go. It's gonna be you.
Yeah. So I think that this is great. I hope that he does as much as good of a job as Bad Bunny does. From my understanding from Booker T, from Road Wrestling, that's if y'all watch Road Wrestling on YouTube. It should be great. I hope Travis take it seriously. But I hope that this leads into the future where more people might come in as far as like celebrities. It might be good, but it's up to him, I think. But I think he's gonna take it very, very seriously.
My guy, Travis. And with that being said, y'all, we're done another episode of We Talk Combat. So this is episode 3. Shout out to episode 3. Everybody here for the first time. It took 3 episodes for all 5 of us colored people to get together finally. Look at that, y'all. Eventually it happened, but we finally here. But everybody, if you're new to the channel, if you're old to the channel, already been here, hit that like button. But if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We talk about all things combat sports and entertainment. Every week we give you a recap of what happened as of now. Shout out to my co-host, my baby Queen. Happy Mother's Day to you again, babe. Travis over there. Check out his content. If you don't, all of us have either our tags for Instagram or somewhere else, Twitter. Basically, we all got the same tag. So if you find a tag, go search it anywhere. You'll see it on any media, except for that guy, Justin. He won't be the different guy, but he was a different guy for a good reason, though, because he is the co-host of Get Off the Damn Fence. I gave you a plug earlier. Check them out. They talk about sports entertainment, just pop culture stuff in general. Well, I should say Justin, my guy Larry, and my guy Kelvin went to school with those brothers, knew them for a long time. So definitely check out their content. They're looking for their subscribers and getting the goals themselves. Got my guy Devon as well. Appreciate you, Devon, for joining us, man. Again, as always, that's really my tech guy. This guy hooking us up. He's the guy that's behind you guys seeing the streams weekly, or basically Mondays, Fridays, and basically Saturdays when you guys seeing wrestling.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
because
Discord
of my guy
daddy.
Devon. He's the guy. He's let me know all that stuff. So appreciate him. Big thanks to Devon. He's helping us out with the website as well and all that stuff. Big shout out to him. Like
I thought that was a slow clap moment. It wasn't a okay. Go ahead.
I have a slow clap. See, I got a clap.
I got a clap. I got a clap.
No, don't do it. But also, lastly, y'all follow us on our other channels over here. We got Cap and Crown. We do that Mondays and Wednesdays. If you like basketball content, myself and Rel, we do that. Oh my goodness. We also have Cuz We Geek with Rel and Will, his cousin, my homeboy. I don't like the way homeboy sound now. That sound old and like out of it. So the homie Will, check them out as well. They talk about anime, geek culture, all kinds of stuff like that. I know, man. We old as hell. I forgot to shout out Playback. Let me give y'all 30 seconds to them real quick. That last segment of the T was brought to you by Playback. Damn, I'm out of order.
Thank you to our friends over at Playback for this segment. Pause. If you're tired of the national media and the annoying ways they sometimes cover sports and other events, give the Glow Sun Production channel on Playback a try. We cover new and old school basketball, wrestling, and geek culture. And just recently, we've added boxing, mixed martial arts, anime, and even video gaming. So if you have time in your busy day, give our channel on Playback a look and check out some of our replays while you're at it. Another special shout out to our favorite app, Playback. Back to the show.
Download Playback, follow us there. Queen has a She Talks Otaku. Jeez. I'm gonna get it cleanly at one point, Queen. Pause. But she's gonna have a new one coming up pretty soon here where she's gonna be watching anime with folks. You can come in there and talk to her and all that stuff. Other than that, like, subscribe, all that nonsense and goodies. What y'all telling me? A pause in the monologue? Yeah, there's a pause in the monologue, Devin. it's for pause, man. It's segment. Pause. You feel me? Yes, it's in there. But other than that, y'all, comments real quick. I was trying to get people in there. We were trying to go. I know it's gonna be a long episode because of PLE. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. What is that? Lakeisha, maybe. Hey everyone, how you doing? Doing well. Appreciate you for watching. Appreciate y'all, everybody. Odyssey as well. Appreciate you for being here as well. He's saying why they're emotional over all that stuff with Eva Marie. I just don't think they're like Eva Marie. I don't think it's that emotional. And plus, like I tell everybody, with the WWE, you get to be emotional. They're all characters. They're literally out there giving you a product for you to cheer or to boo. They're entertainers. So there's nothing, as long as you're not being personal and against them personally, you have the right to boo, cheer, or feel any way about anybody's character. He said Randy Orton and The Rock should be next. Yes. And TKO is, I guess, running or ruining WWE. That's it. But anybody else got anything to say before I end the show real quickly?
I do.
No,
have
we
one more
appreciate
thing.
y'all for being here.
Queen with depreciation. Go ahead, Devin, real quick. Floor is
Actually,
yours.
I just
wait a
wanted to
minute. Shout out, Eric. Happy birthday, bro.
Hey, shout out, happy birthday to Eric. Rest in peace to Sabu. My goodness, I almost forgot to say that before the show was over.
Yeah,
Rest in
that's
peace
right.
to
Yeah, Sabu. Sorry,
definitely
Sabu.
Sabu. I knew you had a match not too long
His
ago, man.
retirement, yeah, his retirement match not
Yep.
too long ago.
Hardcore legend in himself. But go ahead, Devin. The floor is yours. I hope I ain't take it from you. Pause.
Actually, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Jeez.
Okay, well, we took the floor from you, sir.
You good, Justin? Anything else?
I'm good.
Yeah, I
Oh,
probably
my
won't be
goodness.
here next week, though,
Nothing.
but I hope you guys have fun.
All right, everybody. Make sure you stay out there watching combats. I need some type of like cheesy ending saying to say. I'll get it at some point. But other than that, peace and enjoy yourself like chicken grease. I'm out.
Peace.